John Winkler alongside Wyatt Simmons here in our second game as these two teams are the 4-5 matchup. And Wyatt, the great thing when you look at seeds, this should be, on paper, the best game that we're going to see here today. But and both these teams won a game in their doubleheader. This should be a really fun matchup.
Yeah, very even matchup. I mean, we're seeing the 4 and 5 seeds, so this is pretty even. Like you said, they split too, so they've seen each other twice this season, and third time is going to be even bigger too in first game of the state tournament. So really got to come out hot and start out strong.
5-3 win for Brookings in that first game of that doubleheader. Then Brandon Valley won 11-2 in game 2. That was back on July 16th, so it wasn't even that long ago that these two teams saw each other. And that sometimes, I mean, you playing hockey too. You know, if you see a team at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season, you don't really expect the same thing. Now when you're playing at the end of the season and play them again in the state tournament, you kind of know exactly what you're going to get when you face the same team again.
Yeah, and there's always a different mentality when it comes to a state tournament. You know, you're playing down for a state championship, so they played each other pretty recently. But this time is going to be even more because this is a bigger setting, a bigger game. Could be going into an elimination game tomorrow, or someone could be going on for a championship playing on Saturday.
We will send things over to Tyler Merriam for the introduction of our starting lineups here in just a moment. Sioux Falls West did beat Harrisburg in that first game. We'll show you the bracket coming up here in just a moment as we are getting set for this second game between Brandon Valley and Brookings. They'll have the mound, they'll have the umpire meeting with the coaches before we get set for our second game. So let's show you the bracket here real quick as we look at the updated bracket. With Sioux Falls West winning 8-0 over Harrisburg. West will take on the winner of Yankton and Rapid City Post 320, which is coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then Harrisburg will take on the loser of that game at 10 a.m. 4 o'clock tomorrow will be Sioux Falls West against Yankton or Rapid City Post 320. This matchup, the winner of this game will play the last game tomorrow, and that will be at 7 o'clock here in Rapid City. And then the loser will then take on we'll be playing at 1 o'clock in that second game. So these two teams, you don't want to play the same time. If you're Post 22 Watertown, if you're Yankton Rapid City Post 320, you want to play the same time tomorrow. But the first two games, you don't want to play at the same time the next day because that then says your season's on the line. And one thing, too, both these pitchers, Taylor Melby and Nolan Krogman, probably the 1A guys for both for both Brandon Valley and Brookings to play here in Rapid in this first game. You throw your best to try and go 1-0 right away.
Yeah, you do, and especially first game too. You want to come out really hot. You want to start off the state tournament strong, and if you throw out your best pitcher, I think you're just going to have the best chance of doing that.
And we will look at those starting lineups here in just a moment as well. And again, it's going to be a big matchup, a hot day here in Rapid City. That turf field, it becomes hotter than just the 91 degrees that it says it's in Rapid right now. That temperature, it says 92 right here in Rapid City, feeling like 95, and that temperature on the turf field probably feels a little bit more like over 100 at this point. And very important to play good defense and get off the field quickly and get back into the dugout in the shade. One, because you don't want any errors anyway, but two, that be able to force that other team to be out there a lot longer.
Exactly.
We are just about set. The umpire meeting is finishing up, so we will send things over to Tyler Merriam for the introduction of our starting lineups between Brandon Valley and Brookings.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dave Blue Field at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark in Rapid City, and day one of the 2026 South Dakota State Class A Senior American Legion Baseball Tournament, as we celebrate not only America's national pastime, but the 250th anniversary of our nation's independence. This is game 2 of the opening round, featuring the visitors, the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. And the home team, the Brandon Valley Post 131 Lynx. Now let's meet first the reserves, then the starters for each squad, beginning with the visitors from Brookings. Reserves, number 3, Nolan Wagner. Number 11, Max Jensen. Number 28, Tane Frederick. And number 34, Ryder Anderson. The batting batting order, leading off and playing left field, number 1, Trey Christopherson. Batting second, center fielder number 2, Jude Mandering. Batting third, catcher number 17, Jace Bauer. The cleanup batter, third baseman number 14, Noah Lease. Batting fifth, second baseman number 9, Cooper Schneider. Batting sixth, the shortstop number 27, Baker Hansen. Batting seventh, the right fielder number 10, Jay Harris. Batting eighth, first baseman number 20, Talon Hyde. Batting ninth, the designated hitter number 12, Ben Schulte. The starting pitcher number 6, Nolan Krogman. Assistant coach Cole Malum and the head coach of Brookings Post 74, Carter Roach. And now for the home team, the Brandon Valley Post 131 Lynx. The reserve, number 19, Will Van Loor. Number 30, Jacob Halseth. Number 31, Tristan Culp. Number 32, Matthew Henkelman. And number 50, Luke Felderman. The batting order for Brandon Valley, leading off and playing center field, number 1, Grady Gindorf. Batting second, shortstop number 13, Braden Knudsen. Batting third baseman number 8, Bryce Plucker. The cleanup batter, left fielder number 22, Brighton Stroh. Batting fifth, catcher number 3, Jack Blomgren. Batting sixth, the first baseman number 2, Max Peters. Batting seventh, the designated hitter number 20, Cooper Veld. Batting eighth, second baseman number 21, Ryder Mueller. The ninth batter, right fielder number 4, Caleb Severin. The starting pitcher, number 11, Taylor Melby. Assistant coach, Evan Stemkin, and the head coach of Brandon Valley, Jeremy Van Heel. Our umpires for today's game, behind home plate, Terry Lundeen. At first base, Steve Creer. And at third base, John Whitcraft. At this time, we ask that you all please rise and remove your hats for the reading of the American Legion Code of Sportsmanship, to be followed by the singing of our national anthem. Now to recite the code, the chairman of the South Dakota State American Legion Athletic Commission, Mr. Lyle Tolsma.
Congratulations, gentlemen. It's a great feat to get here, and we expect good sportsmanship and help each other out, okay? It's going to be warm. Stay hydrated in the dugout between innings. Repeat after me. I will keep the rules. Keep faith with my teammates. Keep my temper. Keep myself fit. Keep a stout heart in defeat. Keep my pride under in victory. Keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. Good luck, gentlemen.
Now please enter the flag beyond the fence in center field as Mara Wilkening and Caitlin Birdwell sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
So we are ready to go here for our second game of the state tournament, as it is Brandon Valley and Brookings, as we look at both lineups. First for the visiting Brookings Post 74 Bandits, as those are on the right side of your screen. Trey Christoffers in the left fielder leading off. Jude Meendering, the center fielder, batting second. Jace Bauer, the catcher, will bat third. Noah Lease, the third baseman, batting fourth. Cooper Schneider will bat fifth. He's the second baseman. Baker Hansen is the shortstop, batting sixth. Jay Harris, the right fielder, batting seventh. Talon Hyde, the first baseman, batting eighth. And Ben Schulte, the DH, in the number 9 spot for Brookings. For Brandon Valley, post 131, it is Grady Gindorf, the leadoff. He's a center fielder. Braden Knudsen, the shortstop, will bat second. Bryce Plucker, the third baseman, batting third. Brighton Stroh's the cleanup man. He's the left fielder. Jack Blomgren, the catcher, batting fifth. Max Peters will bat sixth. He's the first baseman. Cooper Veld is batting seventh in the DH. Ryder Mueller, the second baseman, batting eighth. And Caleb Severin, the right fielder, batting ninth for Brandon Valley Post 131. And they have on the mound, we'll talk about him first. We'll go into the second inning, talk about the other pitcher in Nolan Krogman. But Taylor Melby is on the mound for Brandon Valley, as he will make what will be his 8th start of the season. 11th appearance overall, 40 innings pitched, which is second on the team behind Luke Felderman. A 4-3 record, 37 hits, 26 runs, 19 of them earned, 29 walks, 45 strikeouts, an ERA at 3.33, a whip at 1.65, and a batting average against at 247. And so it is Taylor Melby, the starting man on the mound for Brandon Valley. And this Brookings lineup, Wyatt, that's hitting .290 on the season coming in. They also had to play 3 games to get here. Now, that doesn't mean any pitching is unavailable going in, but one where Brookings had 1 extra game to play to get to this point last week. And something that, again, maybe a team kind of gets a little bit hot playing that third game and being able to win that winner-take-all game. And we'll see how these two teams kind of start this game out here this afternoon on a hot day.
Yeah, I think Brookings needs to start out aggressive here at the start, especially since they're batting first, just get base hits going. And especially for Melby here on the mound, he also has to start off aggressive as well.
So we are ready to go. Trey Christofferson to lead us off. 303 average during the regular season. He has 1 triple, 6 runs driven in. He only has 48 plate appearances overall in the season, so he has not played a whole lot, but in that leadoff spot to get us started here in Game 2 of the state tournament, as the first pitch is down the middle for strike 1 at 1:05 here in Rapid City. That is the game time, not the game time temperature. We're close to it at 1:05, but we're at 92 degrees. That one is upstairs. Again, if we had the thermometer on the field, that probably would be close to what the game time temperature is.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to be on it either.
Yeah, it's the beauty of turf is how nice it always looks, and you don't have to worry about rain. The bad thing about turf is that it gets 10, 15 degrees hotter on a hot day.
And especially with cleats on too, that's burning through them, and it just hurts even more.
Yeah, it's could be melting cleats, maybe not this week. Here's a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Knudsen. He will throw to first to retire the first man of the ball game. One down as we look at the Brandon Valley defense around the horn defensively. As it is Stroh that is in left, Gindorf in center, Severin in right, Plucker at third, Knudsen at short, Mueller at second, Peters at first, Blomgren behind the plate. And it is Taylor Melby who has got the first man out as Jude Meendering, the center fielder, will take it inside for ball one. Trey Lundeen calling balls and strikes here in game two. Steve Creer over at first and John Whitcraft over on the third base side, and those guys will rotate around on the infield depending on how many guys are on base, where they're at, and be the two field umpires as the count's 1-1 being fouled off by Meendering. 301 average for Meendering. He's got 6 doubles and 2 triples. He's driven in 19 runs. That one will catch the zone, and it's quickly a 1-2 count here to Meendering. In Melby, and when you look at just the stats, Melby and Felderman are kind of your 1A, 1B pitchers, and I don't think there's anything where when Coach Van Heel is looking at it is saying we got to play this guy or we have to start this guy over that guy. It's kind of I think we're going to be good no matter what. If we get good outings from both these guys, we're going to be in a ball game to try and win. And certainly he has the two guys that he would like to pitch. Here's a line shot. Ooh. That will be caught by the second baseman and Mueller for the second out. And there's 2 quickly down here in the top of the first. We'll make sure we get replays up and going here too, by the way, and get you some looks. Don't have that one. We'll have the next one. But a nice stab over there at second by Mueller for the second out. And it brings up Jace Bauer. Hit 291, 7 doubles, a triple. He has 2 of the 3 home runs, and he has driven in the team lead, 31 runs driven in. He is a guy that, while maybe the average isn't over 300, but OPS at 848, guy that gets on base a lot. Ground ball over to the third baseman, charging his Plucker. His throw to first, a 1-2-3 inning for Taylor Melby here in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the first and a 0-0 tie between Brookings and Brandon Valley here at the state tournament at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the first, and you look at that Brandon Valley lineup that we went through just a moment ago, but let's talk a little bit about this post-74 Brookings pitcher in Nolan Krogman, who will make now what will be his 8th start on the mound, 9th appearance overall, 47 innings. He has been their number 1 guy, innings and appearances. A 2-1 record, make that a 7-6 record for Krogman with a save on top of it. 21 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 16 walks and 55 strikeouts. Wide a 0.89 ERA, a whip at 0.79, and a batting average against at 134. You better hope you get a couple guys on base because it's not going to happen very often. Yeah, he's on fire this year, and I think that's a big thing here for Brookings as well. Like you see in other sports, you see in hockey when your goalie's hot, your team does well, and I think it's the same way here in baseball as well. Same thing with Krogman here. He's just really going at it here on the mound, and he's going to give Brookings here a good motivation boost. Yeah, and again, we talked about in the first game about with Sioux Falls West and Harrisburg, you get guys on base, you got to cash in. And certainly this game with Nolan Krogman on the mound, with his, he's averaging less than a guy on base per inning. He's averaging less than a run per game, as there is a strike to make it a 1-1 count. Every mistake that Brookings might make, every hit that you get is magnified because of how good Krogman is on the mound.
Yeah.
That one is outside. The count's 2-1.
And if you're Brandon Valley, too, you want to make sure you get on base either by walks or base hits and try to steal bags because doesn't allow a lot of extra base hits as well. So if you could just try to go up there and steal bases and try to move on to the next one, you'll be fine.
Count is now 1-2. As Grady Gindorf, the center fielder, leadoff man, swung and missed at that pitch. He comes in hitting .253. He's got 4 doubles, 2 triples, but 5 home runs. As he'll pop this one up, look from Bauer, and he'll quickly get a new baseball. 19 runs driven in for Brandon Valley. They are hitting .304 as a team, and they have had an OPS as a team at .839. It's a Brandon Valley team that went 22-14, and this will hit Gindorf. So, again, not a lot of guys get on base against Nolan Krogman, but the leadoff man is on after a 1-2 count. And it allows Braden Knutson to hit with a runner on at first. And how much do you play small ball? Is Knutson going to be bunting to move him over into scoring position here early on? We saw Harrisburg try that in the top of the first. In game 1, it failed, and nothing really went their way after that on top of it, as the first pitch was bunted but fouled away by Knutson. Nolan Krogman, starting pitcher here for Brookings. Will go around the horn defensively for them in just a moment. Pickoff attempts, and sliding back in safely over at first is Gindorf. He swiped 16 bags of the 109 that Brandon Valley has stolen, so they are a team that likes to run, like you mentioned. Why you think about they're going to be looking to try and run around the bases. As this is popped up on the bunt, and this will be Bauer that will make the catch. Helmet in hand, makes the catch for the first out. And just like it was in that first inning for Harrisburg, a failed bunt attempt. And will that hurt going forward in this first inning here for Brandon Valley? And this will bring up now Bryce Plucker, the third baseman. Plucker's got 2 home runs. He's driven in 19 on the season. They're really spread out on how many RBIs everybody has. Not one guy that really stands out over everybody else. The team lead was 23 with Cooper Veld, who is hitting 7th in the order. But a lot of guys with 10-plus RBIs in the year in the 36 games that Brandon Valley has played. This will be fouled back for strike 1. Brandon Valley, they had a big 7th inning to advance to the state tournament over Spearfish. They won 11-2, but scored 9 runs in that 7th inning to win 11-2 over Spearfish in Game 2. So talk about an offense that, I wouldn't say they didn't have to figure things out, but really got a lot of momentum in that last inning. Now coming against this tough pitcher of Nolan Krogman.
And Plucker here, too. He's a very reliable hitter for Brandon Valley. 47 hits this year, leads the team. So trying to get a big one here on an early 1-1 count.
Krogman from the stretch. That'll miss outside, and the count's 2-1. Gindorf was hit by a pitch to lead off the bottom of the first. The bunt attempt was popped straight up near home plate, and Bauer was able to put that one away. Now Meandering and make that Krogman looking for a ground ball. Runner takes off. This will be flown out towards left center field. Coming in is the center fielder Meandering to make the catch. Looked like maybe Gindorf was bluffing the steal, but he stops anyway, and there's now 2 down. Here in the top, make that the bottom of the first, and it brings up Brighton Stroh, the left fielder. As you look at the Brookings defense around the horn, it is Christofferson in left, Meandering in center, Harrison right. There's a lot of Scrabble points out there for the left and center field. Lees at third, Hanson at short, Schneider at second, Hyde at first, Bauer behind the plate. And Nolan Krogman, first pitch, instead a check over at first. You're going to see probably a lot of pickoffs over at first. Again, the team that in 36 games have stolen 109 bases. Another pickoff attempt.
And I bet Brookings' pitching staff here, they're making sure that they're looking on film and, what they do here for stealing bases. So they know that they have a bunch of guys that can steal bases, so they're going to be on high alert for that.
First pitch now to Brighton Stroh, the left fielder. This is skied up to left field. Trey Christofferson moving over. He'll give way to Meendering to make the catch. And that takes care of the bottom of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, a man left on. One complete here in the second game of the state tournament, and there is no score between Brandon Valley and Brookings here on Hardhats TV. It is the top of the second and a 0-0 tie between Brookings and Brandon Valley, the 4-5 matchup here in our second game today at the 2026 state tournament. State champion will go to Mandan to play in North Dakota in the Central Plains Regional next week. Noah Leafs, the third baseman, to lead off for Brookings as the first pitch is upstairs for ball one by Taylor Melby. Our home plate umpire, Trey Lundeen, he is in the festive mood with Brookings and Brandon Valley, both wearing red. He's also got a red mask as the count's 2-0. Brookings warmed up in their red jerseys, put the black jerseys on, which is probably a smart idea to leave the black jerseys off as much as possible. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That'll miss inside. Because that, we were looking at it, we we're going, boy, both teams are going to wear red today. But then we saw there were no numbers on the back of the Brookings shirts that they were wearing. And so we're first trying to make it 3-1 here to Leith. So smart idea for Coach Roach and the Brookings players to leave those black jerseys off until game time. There's a fly ball to right field. This will come in and will drop in for a base hit. Our first hit of the ball game. Noah Leith will pick it up. And there is one on to lead off the inning. And it will bring up now Cooper Schneider. You saw the right fielder in Severin. Caleb Severin came in and had stopped well before the ball had dropped, and that was some of it too because of the turf. If you come in too fast, that ball's going to bounce over the top of your head, and then it turns from a single to a triple or an inside the park home run. So while it looked like maybe he gave up on it a little bit early, there was no way he was going to catch it and didn't want it to bounce over his head.
Yeah, you got to play your angles right, especially there in outfield with balls coming in like that.
Because there's not a lot of all-turf fields here in the state. Infield, all-turf infields, there's quite a bit of them, but an all-turf outfield does change how you handle some fly balls and some line drives that come your way, because, again, that ball will, if it's on the ground, it will roll for a long time before it slows down.
And I think catchers also have a hard time with it, too, with wild pitches that are going down on the turf. They have to be able to control that, blocking that, and it's difficult for them because the turf is so bouncy.
And then you think about the base runners. Your slide has to start earlier because you're going to slide a lot more than you do on a dirt infield. And again, a lot of these teams play with at least turf infields. Both these teams have all turf infields, so they understand how that. But the outfield and how you catch, because you go from one turf to the next, and especially around home plate because of all the action that happens right around there, it could find your way to being a little bit of a different type of a carpet for you. As here's a malvisit with a 2-0 count.
And that's another thing too. Some fields have, you know, bad spots in them too, and that's just hard to deal with, especially as someone who's trying to, you know, handle a fly ball that's bouncing in the outfield and stuff like that. But that's another thing that you just kind of have to factor in, especially in big games like this. You just have to go down to the minute details and make sure you polish them up, and that's how you're going to win baseball games here.
You saw the first pitch for Cooper Schneider. He was showing bunt. We'll see if that bunt will still be on or if it will end up being maybe a take sign to wait for a strike, and Schneider will swing away. We saw a failed bunt attempt in the bottom of the first inning. And we'll see if Schneider wants to bunt again. Here's the 2-0, another bunt attempt, and it will go back to first, and the snap throw is not in time, so the count's 3-0. And you got to think now that with a 3-0 count, Schneider will probably show bunt, but will pull it back regardless of where the pitch is at. As Melby's struggling to find the strike zone right now here in the top of the second. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, taking all the way. That's over for a strike, and it's now 3-1. And again, you might try to bunt here with the fact that it's a 3-1 count. And we'll see if that bunt stays on. Runner on at first with nobody out here in the top of the second. Melby from the stretch. Long pause. It'll be a bunt attempt, pulled back, and that will be ball 4. So first and second, leadoff single for Lease, and then the walk to Schneider brings up Baker Hansen, the shortstop. An opportunity here knocking for Brookings, their first chance to hit with a runner in scoring position. They hit .325 with runners in scoring position. You look at, that was a batting average against with runners in scoring position. They had .327, so 2 points better offensively than the pitching staff did. .327 with runners in scoring position for Brookings. And Baker Hansen is the first man to hit with the runner in scoring position. .350 for him on the season. He hit .245 overall, but hit better with guys in scoring position. They'll show bunts, they'll pull it back and take it for strike 1. Threw the curveball in there, and sometimes White, after he can't find the strike zone with the fastball, you got to change the grip and locate the curveball for a strike, and then everything else starts to come together after that. First baseman well in, and Max Peters. They will show bunt another time. It is pulled back. The runner will take off for third. The throw. He's out at third.
Risky gamble.
And what a throw from the catcher in Blomgren. It's starting to skip away. And now they also say that he offered at the bunt, so it's now 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on at first.
That's big here for Brandon Valley, too. They find their first down. They take that run off of scoring position on second, and they can find themselves here in a double play as well.
Lease was trying to read it perfectly and end up finding himself thrown out at third for the first out here in the top of the second. 0-2 pitch now. Line drive, that is foul. Out of play on the first base side. You talk about the mistakes or the big plays that are amplified in this type of a game. And we're only in the second inning. This is a random June or July game that happens, and team is pumped, but not quite as much as what they feel like right now, getting that guy thrown out at third. That's outside and making a 1-2 count. Baker Hansen followed by Jay Harris. 1 out, runner on at first. Leadoff single by Lease. Walk to Schneider, and then Lease thrown out, trying to take third on a pitch in the turf. 1-2. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. Melby was walking off the mound. That would only been the second out, even if it had been a strikeout, and they wouldn't have been able to throw it around the horn either. But the count's 2-2. He was trying to talk Mr. Lundeen into making that a strike 3 call, but it missed just a little bit up. Melby go from the stretch again. Here's the 2-2 coming. That one stays upstairs, maybe a little bit outside. The count's now full again. Jay Harris, the right fielder, waiting on deck. The 3-2. That is a check swing that will be foul. It was going to be ball 4, but Hanson got a piece of it, and it remains at 3-2. Good battle here for Baker Hanson and Taylor Melby with 1 out and a runner on at first with top of the second. Brandon Valley's looking for, like you mentioned, looking for a ground ball to try and get out of this inning after the first 2 reach base. The 3-2 again, runner takes off. It'll be ball 4. A single and 2 walks. All 3 guys have reached base, but it's still first and second with only 1 out. And it brings up Jay Harris, the right fielder. Harris hit .298 during the season, a .231 average with runners in scoring position. 5 doubles, 14 runs driven in for Harris. And another spot here for Brookings to try and hit with a runner in scoring position. First pitch is popped foul. That will get out of play behind home plate. Melby was chasing after it. He wants that second out. This is game 2 of 4 today. Winner will have to wait to see what happens tonight to see who they will face. The loser of this game, again, will have to see the same result, but they'll play at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Harrisburg, who lost earlier, they started day 1. They will start day 2. Here in game 2, the loser will play game 2 again tomorrow. Here's the 0-1. That one will catch the outside corner, and the count's 0-2 now to Jay Harris. It is 325 down the left field line here at Dave Plouffe Field. 393 out in left center and right center. That one will miss, and the count's now 1-2. And 330 down the right field line all the way around. One-two pitch coming here to Jay Harris with a runner at first and second, and 1 down here at the top of the second. That'll bounce in. Good block from the catcher, Blomgren. And it's 2-2 now here to Harris, who will be playing at SDSU club hockey next year for the Jacks. He just got committed to play for SDSU. There's a lot of baseball players here this weekend that are going to be playing college somewhere. May not be baseball itself. That's outside. That counts 3-2. But a lot of college athletes are going to be on the field the next couple of days. I guess really all today and tomorrow for sure, with the 8 teams that will be here for the first 2 days. The 3-2. That's another walk, 3rd walk of the inning, and the bases are loaded with 1 away. The only guy out has been Lease trying to take 3rd, and we're going to see some activity out in the left field bullpen. Van Loer is going to be the one I think is going to be warming up. They've already had their mound visits, so they can't go out there and stall any time. You're going to get the catcher to go out there, but they've already had their 1 mound visit, so next time that they go out, they'll have to go get the pitcher in Melby. Pitch is outside for ball 1. here to Talon Hyde, the first baseman. 278 average for Hyde. He's hitting at 349 with runners in scoring position. And a ground ball to the third baseman, fielded by Pluckers. Throw home, scoops in, and scooped up by the catcher Blomgren for the second out.
That was a very smart play there to go home, try to keep this a 0-0 game, and now they just have to get one more out here. Bases will still remain loaded for Brookings, though.
A fielder's choice. And a good scoop over there by Blomgren at the plate. And now Ben Schulte, the number 9 man. So a single, a walk, make that 3 walks in a row, and then a fielder's choice. Everybody's reached base in this inning. First pitch will miss inside for ball 1. But Melby trying to work around the potential of run scoring. Not many times you can say the first 5 guys have reached base and you don't have a run scored yet. Here's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Mueller, and they get out of it. 4-3 on the putout. No runs, a 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base. Brookings fails to cash in here in the top of the second, and Brandon Valley will come to the plate. 0-0 between Brandon Valley and Brookings. Back in a minute here on Hardhats TV. It is the bottom of the second, and 0-0 between Brookings and Brandon Valley. John Lickler alongside Wyatt Simmons, Jack Blomgren, Max Peters, and Cooper Veld. 5, 6, and 7 here for Brandon Valley in this second inning. They worked around the bases loaded jam. 5 of the 6 guys that came to the plate all reached base. Only 1 reached on a fielder's choice. The first pitch over for strike 1, but they did not score in that inning. That one will be missing low, and the count's 1-1. In the activity on the left field bullpen, that probably now coming back in, hold off on maybe going to that guy from the bullpen, and we believe was Van Loor. That one will miss inside, and the count's 2-1. But a big opportunity now, Wyatt, for Brandon Valley with that big 0 in that top of the second. They have a chance to take the lead here and grab all the momentum. 2-2 the count. Blomgren, he is hitting .322. 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 18 runs driven in. Taken for strike 3 at the knees, and the first strikeout for Nolan Krogman. 1 down here in the bottom of the second, and it brings up Max Peters, the first baseman. Krogman threw in the 8-2 win over Sioux Falls East in Game 1, where they ended up going the 3 games. They lost 8-6 in the second game before winning 7-1. Krogman went 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, had 2 walks and 11 strikeouts. So he was on fire, but maybe too many strikeouts, and he had to come out because of pitch count. You love to see guys get all those strikeouts, but it does add on to your pitch count when you start striking everybody out. Here's the 1-1. And a 2-1 count here to Max Peters, the first baseman. .291 average for him, and now a 2-2 count, and Krogman will be looking for a second straight strikeout. The 2-2 from Krogman. That's outside. Full count. One out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Krogman. 2 down here in the second, and it brings up Cooper Veld, the DH. If you watch the first game between Harrisburg and Sioux Falls West and just maybe wasn't watching everything that was happening on the field, you saw the fans in the stands. They were pretty far up there. They're starting to work their way down a little bit. A little bit more shade that is happening farther down in the stands here at the Fitz. So more people are getting farther and closer to the game now, farther down and closer to the action on the field. We're going to see it I'm sure the next 2 games are going to be a good packed house with Post 320 playing against Yankton, and then Post 22, the host team, taking on Watertown. But it's funny just to see everybody keep moving down a little bit closer to be closer to the game. It counts 2-1 now to Cooper Veld.
And then I bet when we go to the state championship, I bet there'll be no standing room at all. We won't be able to find a spot at all.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of people here by the time Friday night and Saturday roll around. That one's at the knees, and the count's 2-2. Especially if we're seeing at least one, if not 2, Rapid City teams playing in that state championship. I think even if there is 0 of them, I think Rapid City fans are still going to be out here to watch a state championship. 2-2, a swing and a miss, down in order, striking out the sign for Nolan Krogman. We head to the third, no score between Brookings and Brandon Valley here in the second game of day 1 of the 2026 state tournament here on Hardhats TV. As we welcome you back, it is the top of the third. No score between Brookings and Brandon Valley here in Game 2. And it will be the top of the order for Brookings. Trey Christofferson, Jude Meendering, and Jace Bauer. He might reach his base, so it'll go to Noah Lease. It was a 1-2-3 first inning for Taylor Melby against these 3 hitters before he struggled in that second, but still got a 0 with only allowing 1 hit. He's thrown 39 pitches through 2 innings. We talked about in the first game, too, what these coaches want to do with their Game 1 starters as the first pitch is over for strike 1, because if they do come out before 80 pitches, they would be available to pitch on Saturday. If you go over 80, it's going to be their one and only appearance, because day 4 of rest will be on Saturday. 0-1 is swung and missed, and the count's now 2. And then on top of it, we're on an all-turf field, so to rain out an entire day is going to be almost impossible to do, because the turf field can hold a lot of water and everything else. It's going to be a bad situation if we get a full rain out of a day. So you're not thinking, well, maybe he can come back on Sunday, and if we have a rain out, but probably not likely. 0-2 is a floater to shallow center field. That will drop in for a base hit. And Christofferson has got the second hit of the ball game for Brookings. And the leadoff man on base for Jude Meendering, who is 0 for 1 of the line out to second.
And going back on your pitching question too, you look at it, you want to keep your pitcher in there because you don't want to go through all your bullpen here, especially because you really want to rely on some of those guys, later in those games where they are going to really start to count, trying to go for a state championship as well.
I think that probably is the biggest decision that a coach is making in this state tournament, is how do you handle your pitching staff to not blow through your bullpen and not to have guys not available to pitch, but also trying to keep guys available, because while these two are trying to get through to 3 innings without any run scoring, Melby was struggling in that second. You got to have somewhat of a quick hook if you're going to get him out, and then he could come back later on in the tournaments, and it just could be a bad day and just didn't have the feel, and the next day he throws a complete 7 with a shutout. You just never know how a guy will react, but yeah, it's a very difficult decisions to make as the count's 2-0. They checked to see if he had offered at it. He did not. For Meendering, the center fielder, second man in the batting order, and the second man up with a runner on at first, and nobody out here at the top of the third.
And Brookings is coming into this inning with a lot of momentum. Last inning, they got 3 walks in a row, followed with a base hit, and then starting off with the 3 strikeouts, retiring the side, and they start off hot here with a leadoff single as well. So they're picking up momentum here, pitch by pitch.
Here's the 2-0. Bunt again. That is going to be fielded on as it's scooped up, and the count's 3-0. And another good block there by Blomgren, the catcher. He's worked hard back there already, and we're only at the top of the third. Another 3-0 count, and Meendering will be taking all the way. Right now we've seen the bunt be put out there, and it's been a struggle for Melby to find the strike zone when guys are showing bunts, and that will be a 4-pitch walk. That's the 4th walk now issued by Melby. And again, you started playing with fire in that second inning, and now we're going to have Van Loor go back out and warm up again to make sure that he's ready to go. Because with 3 walks, now make that 4 walks given up by Melby. He can certainly work his way out of it, but how much do you play with fire for a second straight inning? As Jace Bauer, the number 3 man to the plate, and probably won't see him try and bunt, as the first pitch will miss outside for ball 1. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Leadoff single, just like it was in the top of the second. Christofferson led off this inning with a base hit, a bloop single to center. A walk by Meendering. And now Bauer. He checked his swing, but has called the strike. And the count's 1-1 here to the catcher. The 5-seed Brookings looking to strike first here in the top of the third. Here's the 1-1. Now pickoff attempt, and it'll be thrown into center field. Christofferson didn't get up quick enough, and again, that ball skipping its way to center. I say he didn't get up quick enough. He probably got up as fast as he possibly could, but the ball skipped into center so cleanly that the center fielder Gindorf had every opportunity to throw him out if Christofferson took off. So instead, it's still first and second. A 1-1 count. And it is Jace Bauer trying to give Brookings their first lead. That one will find the strike zone. The count's now 1-2.
Well, and Christofferson there, he's doing a great job. He's trying to put a distraction here on Melby, and he threw for a mistake over there, but Christofferson just stand on second. But that's what he's trying to do there, trying to create a distraction and try to get an error so they can move runners advance to the next base.
And you can see that on YouTube that he has been bouncing back and forth at second. 1-2 will come in and hit Bauer. Hit him right on the knee. And the bases are now loaded. That one didn't feel good. And the bases loaded here with nobody out. And it brings up Noah Lease, who has one of those 2 hits. We'll have another mound visit here for Brandon Valley. And Taylor Melby just struggling to find the strike zone. Nolan Wagner is running over at first for Bauer. This is a big spot here for Brookings. They did not cash in with the bases loaded and 1 out in that second inning. They have to cash in here. You're not going to get all the bases loaded every inning to try and score runs, especially with nobody out. You really have to find at least 1 or 2 runs. Van Loor still warming up out in the left field bullpen for Brandon Valley. Lease 1 for 1. He was thrown out at third on a pitch that was in the turf and was scooped up by Blomgren. They were able to throw him out. But now Noah Lease with the bases loaded. First pitch from Melby will bounce in for ball 1. Second time that Brookings has loaded the bases. 1-0. Ground ball that is fouled down the first base line. Middle infield is back for a double play. They'll trade a run for 2 outs. The corners are in. They will go home with it on a ground ball. And obviously back to the pitcher. Melby's going to go home with it to try and start a 1-2-3 double play. 1-1. That one is fouled off of Lease. It rolled foul anyway, so the count's now 1-2. Melby, this is a big strikeout spot right now for Taylor Melby. Looking for his first one of the day. On deck, Cooper Schneider. Bases loaded. The first 3 guys in the batting order have reached to start this top of the third. 1-2. That's outside. Cleanup man Lease. He has got a .370 batting average with runners in scoring position. 14 runs driven in for the cleanup man during the regular season. Here's the 2-2. That'll hit him. And that will score a run, and it's a 1-0 lead here for Brookings. Second straight man that he has hit. It's been a walk, it's been a leadoff single, a walk, and then back-to-back hit by pitches. And that will put an end to the day for Taylor Melby. They will go to the bullpen here with nobody out in the top of the third. 1-0 is their score. Brookings leads it over Brandon Valley, as we'll come back and tell you the change here in just a moment, here on Hardhats TV.
Things in tournament competition earlier on today, Sioux Falls West beat Harrisburg 8-0. That was game 1. This is game 2. Later on today at 4 o'clock, it'll be Yankton and Rapid City post 320 in first round action. And then the nightcap scheduled for 7 o'clock, Rapid City post 22 and Watertown will play. The loser of this game will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. The winner of this game will advance to tomorrow's finale at 7 o'clock.
Will Van Loor is now on the mound in place of Taylor Melby, who throws 2 innings, 2 hits, 4 walks, he hit 2 guys, no strikeouts, 55 pitches for Melby. So he is still eligible to come back here in this state tournament if Brandon Valley gets past a couple of days. But now Will Van Loor now on the mound to try and keep this deficit at just 1-0. But he's got the bases loaded and nobody out, as Cooper Schneider will take low for ball 1. Van Loor has thrown so far 18 innings. This is his 5th relief appearance, 9th appearance overall, 2-2 record for him. 17 hits, 20 runs, 12 of those earned, 18 walks, 16 strikeouts. So the ERA at 4.67, a whip at 1.94. Batting average against at 236. That one will miss low. The count's 2-1. Cooper Schneider drew a walk. He was thrown out at the plate on the force out in that top of the second. 2-1. That'll find the strike zone in the inside corner, and the count is 2-2. Bases juiced. Van Loer, the 2-2. Ground ball over to third. It's a fair ball. The throw will come home. They will fake the throw to first, and so there is one down. Another 5-2 fielder's choice. Keeps this a one-run ball game. And so now the bases, again, still loaded, but now one down. And a good play from the third baseman, Plucker, to throw home to get that first out.
And we've already seen Brandon Valley in the same situation before, just 2 innings ago, where bases were loaded with 1 out too, so try to look here for the double play.
As it is going to be Baker Hansen, the shortstop who drew a walk as well in his first trip up back in the top of the second. He'll swing at the first pitch. That's a floater to left field. The catch will be made. The runner will tag. The throw to the plate. The tag! He's out of the plate!
What a throw.
A double play to be turned to get out of the inning. We'll check the replay out. We might watch it from both angles here to see that throw coming in. The tag applied to get him out. We'll watch the other replay here in just a moment. The throw from the left fielder in Stroh up the line just a little bit, but enough to get out of that inning. And Blomgren with the tag to get Bauer, to get Wagner running for Bauer out at the plate for the final outs of that second inning. 1-0 is our score as we head to the bottom of the second. Brookings leads over Brandon Valley. Ryder Mueller to start us here in the bottom of the second. Make that the bottom of the third as the first pitch will miss for ball one. It is going to be 8-9-1. Ryder Mueller, Caleb Severin, and Grady Gindorf. This will be popped up around the mound. The third baseman will come over and make the catch and lease for the first out. One down. And it brings up the number 9 man, Caleb Severin. Officially for Melby, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, only 1 run allowed, 4 walks on 55 pitches. Van Loer with a big play to keep this a 1-0 game. As Caleb Severin, first pitch swinging, fouls that one away for strike one. That was only pitch number 32 from Nolan Krogman. Krogman just going to be a junior next year for Brookings. That one is fouled away, and the count's 0-2. So he's going to be fits for a lot of teams for the next 2 years on top of this tournament right now. It would feel nice for Coach Carter Roach to have your ace of your pitching staff stick around for another 2 summers. 0-2 is skied up left side. That will be a long run, and it will land out of play. And the count remains at 0-2.
And they're swinging at a lot of their balls here right now. They're just trying to find something to get on base here. I mean, they're just trailing by 1. and just still trying to find for their first base hit here of the game.
And Gindorf was hit by a pitch to start the bottom of the first. Since then, it's been 7 straight retired here from Krogman. Here's the 0-2 again. Taken for strike 3, and the 4 strikeouts here for Krogman. 2 down in the bottom of the third. 4 strikeout, just 35 pitches thrown for Krogman. He's trying to get through his 3rd complete inning. Back to the top of the order for Gindorf, who was hit by a pitch. The right-hander delivers. First pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Next game is going to be Yankton and Rapid City Post 320. That's scheduled for a 4 o'clock first pitch. Then Post 22 taking on Watertown to finish out day 1 at 7 o'clock. Swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2. 3 hours are separated between first pitch times to should give us enough time to not have to start late. 0-2 just outside. Brookings fans wanted that to be another strikeout.
And
for
all
Krogman.
of Krogman's strikeouts are all looking here too as well, so really catching the batters here looking too.
Taken for strike 3 again. 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. Krogman has retired 9 straight, and it's a 1-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley as we head to the 4th here in the first round of state tournament game. The 2026 American Legion State Tournament here on Hardhats TV. Going into the top of the 4th, a 1-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley here in our second game of the state tournament, as it will be Jay Harris, Talon Hyde, Ben Schulte. All 8 teams will play again tomorrow, but then we'll knock it down to 6 after Wednesday is done. As the first pitch to Jay Harris, a check swing and a ground ball over to the second baseman, Mueller. He will field and throw on to first, and Harris is gone in 1 pitch to start off the top of the 4th. Van Lohr comes in, and he's only faced 3 batters with a fielder's choice, and then got the double play. So he's gotten 4 outs and only faced 3 batters so far. Talon Hyde grounded into a fielder's choice back in the top of the 2nd. First pitch is over for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. That one's now a 1-1 count. And if you're Brandon Valley, the thing that makes you feel really good about how things are sitting for you is that Taylor Melby didn't have it today with the 4 walks. He hit 2 different guys. There's a swing and a miss. Counts 1 and 2. He's eligible to come back. You don't feel like if you're able to get to Thursday or Friday and able to use him again, hard to say that he's going to have 2 bad outings in a row. And it's still only a 1-0 game. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman, Plucker. He'll wait on it. His throw to first. 2 down. And so all of this, whenever your starter gets taken out without getting out in the 3rd inning, I don't know if any coach could ask for a better scenario than what they're in. Only down 1-0 right now here in the top of the 4th inning. Because most times you're not taking your starter out in the 3rd with nobody out, without it being kind of an abysmal outing to the point where you're down 4 or 5-0. It's only a 1-0 ball game right now. Brandon Valley is well in it. That one's fouled straight over near us, but it's now a 0-2 count.
And Van Leer, he's been throwing good stuff here on the mound ever since he came in, and I think Brandon Valley, they're starting to get on his back here a little bit, and so their momentum is starting to grow here.
0-2 just inside, and the count's 1-2. And Melby threw 55 pitches, so he still can come back at some point in this state tournament. Obviously, Brandon Valley has to get to those days to still have him pitch again, and you're not guaranteed anything past Wednesday unless you win your first game. 2-2 is upstairs, and from 0-2 now to 3-2 here for Ben Schulte, the DH, number 9 man in the batting order. Van Loer trying to work a 1-2-3 inning here in this top of the fourth. And that one just misses inside, and it will be ball 4, and a 2-out walk to Schulte.
Good battle there.
Yeah, that is a really close pitch to take if you have 2 strikes for Schulte, but he's able to draw the walk, and it's now Trey Christofferson who has one of the 2 hits here for Brookings. And on top of it, Brookings only has 2 hits. You feel like the way this game has gone, it feels like Brookings is up 4 or 5 or 6-0 right now, but it's a 1-0 game. And only 2 hits so far for Brookings as the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. And that's where Brandon Valley has kind of picked up a little bit momentum, and they just have to find a way to crack through and get a couple of hits against Nolan Krogman.
And there's still many opportunities later in the game as well.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through this game right now. There's still plenty of time here for Brandon Valley. But a 2-0 count here to Trey Christofferson. That'll be upstairs, and now 3-0. It's been 7 straight misses after it was an 0-2 count for Van Loer on Schulte through 4 straight balls, and now it's 3-0 count, and we're going to see more activity. And it's going to be Felderman that's going to go warm up out in the left field bullpen. And another walk. 4-pitch walk here to Christofferson in his first and second with 2 away. Game of inches. That ball, that was a walk to Schulte. That one's a little bit closer to the plate by probably not even an inch. Probably ends up being a strikeout. Gets out of the inning, but instead now it's turned into back-to-back walks. And Jude Meandering's got a chance to drive in the second run here for Brookings.
This is a big at-bat here for Van Leer, too, pitching. You know, you got 1 out and 2 runners on and have a chance here to end the inning, so try to get it out clean.
0-1 count here to Meandering. You drew a walk back in the top of the third. Now it's an 0-2 count. There's that one on the inside edge. I don't think he necessarily agreed with it, but it is an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Coach Roach going through a lot of signs over here over on the third base side. Some of it could be just to give Meandering a little bit of time and make Van Loer think about it. 0-2 pitch is grounded over to the first base side. Be a sliding stop. The throw is going to be wide. The runner will come in to score on the base hits. Infield single base hit for Meandering. Schulte never broke stride around third. And an infield RBI single for Meandering. And a diving stop, sliding stop, but as you saw, the runner at third and Schulte never stopped, came running around third, and he ends up scoring to make it a 2-0 game. It's still first and second with 2 away. And now the number 3 hitter in Jace Bauer is he'll swing and miss at the first pitch. That is a big run. Good stop there by Mueller, but just couldn't find the footing enough on the sliding stop to be able to throw to first to get the runner out. 0-2 count now to Bauer. That'll hit him. That's the second time. Boy, no, they're going to keep him there. They're going to keep him over at the plate. They said that he leaned into it. And so now the count is 1-2.
And that gives a little break here for Brandon Valley as well. You have runners on first and second, and you avoid getting bases loaded here with 2 outs. And Brookings, last few at-bats they've had, they've been getting guys on and getting hits. So kind of a little break here for Brandon Valley with that.
And so Bauer, he got hit flush the first time, and he gets hit flush again here this second time. And that was that one probably hurts a little bit, but he's told to stay there. And so it is still a 1-2 count. That pitch, that one will miss upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. Didn't get the replay. Going back and watching it on YouTube on my phone, there was a little bit of an arm stuck out there by Bauer, and a good call by the home plate umpire to keep him there. The 2-2. That one is foul the back behind home plate, and it stays at a 2-2 count. Another 2-2 pitch. Now full count, 3-2. Head start for Meendering and Christofferson, who's staying at first and second. Here's a 3-2. Hard ground ball. That is past the third baseman into left field. Sliding was Stroh to cut it off. It'll get to the runner to third. It's another run to score for Brookings. They will call it a base hit. An RBI for Jace Bauer. It's a 3-0 lead for Brookings here in the top of the fourth.
And he got a lot on that ground ball, too. That one picked up a lot of speed, especially going into the outfield, too, allowing enough time to get runners on the corners here.
Yeah, you really on that ground ball, and Plucker will probably tell you should have had it, but the reason why it's ruled a single up in the press box here in the scores table to our right is that it was hit so hard that it was a tough play for Plucker to make. And it's a base hit, an RBI for Bauer. It's first and third with 2 away, and still an opportunity for Brookings with no Elise. It will take high for ball 1. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to score the game's first run for Brookings. Game with the bases loaded with 1 out, so actually with nobody out. Brookings took that 1-0 lead, and here again, it talked about how they're not going to get all these opportunities to hit with the bases loaded, with a lot of guys on base. Third straight inning that they will have. They've won second straight inning they've scored, but third straight inning they've had a lot of guys on base against Brandon Valley. That one's fouled out of play, and the count's 2-1. Only the 4th hit of the ball game, 2nd hit of the inning. Meendering and Bauer both with RBI singles. An infield single for Meendering, and then that's hard ground ball base hit for Bauer. Here's the 2-1. That'll miss inside, and it's now a 3-1 count. For Brandon Valley, that was, and Van Loer, that was pitch number 35. This will be popped foul. That will get out of play, and the count is full again. Nolan Wagner, who's running over at first for Bauer, will get a head start. Meendering over at third. He's not going to go anywhere right now. With 3-2 count, 2 outs. Line shot down the first baseline, but that will be foul. Another 3-2 pitch coming up.
Did everything right there, just timing was just a little bit off.
Wagner gets back to first. He'll again get a head start. The 3-2 again. Fouled back. And a good battle here with full count. Be the 7th pitch of the at-bats. 3-2 again. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded another time for Brookings. Third time that Leeds has reached base. And they will go to the bullpen again. And it'll be Luke Felderman to come out and try and settle this game down. 3-0 Brookings leads with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Back after this here on Hardhats TV. So Luke Felderman is now on the mound for Brandon Valley as he will pitch with 2 outs and the bases loaded in this top of the 4th. Felderman has thrown 41 2/3 innings. This is the team leader in innings, team leader in appearances. This will be his 4th relief appearance. He has started 8 games, a 5-2 record, does have 2 saves, 35 hits, 13 runs, only 8 of those have been earned, 19 walks and 37 strikeouts, a 1.34 ERA, a whip at 1.30, batting average against at 223. And Cooper Schneider will be the first man to greet him. Schneider is 0 for 1 with a walk, and the base is loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch will miss for ball 1. This will be flown out towards right field. Coming in to make the catch is Severin, and that will take care of the top of the 4th inning. But 2 runs will score for Brookings as they do so by getting 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th, a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley here on Hardhats TV. Braden Knudsen to lead off here in the bottom of the 4th. As the first pitch is fouled away for strike 1. 9 straight retired here for Nolan Krogman. Officially for Will Van Loren, inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks on 39 pitches. Here's a ground ball up the middle, will be fielded by the second baseman and Schneider. His throw to first will retire Knudsen for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it brings up Bryce Plucker, 2, 3, and 4 right now. Plucker 0 for 1, Stroh 0 for 1 as well. 3 and 4 will be coming to the plate. And they have both flown out to the center fielder at Meendering, and it's in that first inning. And the first pitch will be outside for ball 1. 3 runs on 4 hits for Brookings. No runs, no hits, and no errors for Brandon Valley as it counts 2-0. Gindorf, the only man to reach base, that led off the bottom of the first, being hit by a pitch. And Nolan Krogman, I think you can say, settled into the game after that. The bunt attempt by Knutson was caught by Bauer, and then fly out, 3 strikeouts in a row. He's got 5 so far. That will hit, though, Plucker, and the first man to reach base since that first inning will be another hit by pitch. The only 2 guys to reach base have done it the hard way by being hit by a pitch, although that one looked like maybe caught the jersey of Plucker compared to actually hitting him flush, and it now brings up Brighton Stroh.
We'll keep a close eye here on the runner on first, too, because, you know, no runs yet, no hits yet, too, and you got to get one here soon, so we'll see if he tries to take off to second.
This will be flown out to right field. Backing up is the right fielder, out towards the track to make the catch, and Jay Harris. And there's now 2 down. That one went out a long way out to right, but Stroh flies out, and there's 2 down, and it brings up Jack Blomgren, the catcher. So 2 away, runner on at first. And it's Blomgren who struck out looking in his first trip up. Pickoff attempt, and back in, sliding in without a tag is the runner at first and Plucker. That'll hit the helmets of Blomgren on the first pitch. So the third man that Krogman has hit, it's now first and second. The first guy gets to second here for Brandon Valley. And Max Peters looking for that first Brandon Valley hit, and if they do so, all of a sudden now that they can make this a 2-run ball game real quick. And a courtesy runner. Didn't catch the number.
Your attention, please. Courtesy runner at first, number 30, Jacob
Halseth.
Yeah, so there's Halseth that is running. Thanks to Tyler Merriam for catching that number to tell us who it was, as Max Peters now to the plate. So Halseth running for Blomgren, the catcher. The courtesy runner here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. First and second here for Brandon Valley. Krogman will come set from the stretch. That'll be outside. The count is now at 1-0. Hey, that 2-0, excuse me. Peter struck out swinging in the second. He was part of those 3 strikeouts in a row for Krogman to strike out the side in order. Now the count's 3-0. And for the first time today, we're seeing Krogman struggle on the mound. 3-0's over, and the count's 3-1. Here in the bottom of the 4th, 3-0 lead for Brookings. Ground ball over to the second baseman, Schneider, as he fields again. His throw to first, and that will get out of the inning unscathed for Brookings. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. Halfway home in game 2 today here at the state tournament, and a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley here in the 2026 state tournament on Hardhats TV. It is the top of the fifth and a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley. John Winkler alongside Wyatt Simmons here on Hardhats TV. Glad you're joining in. All 14 or 15 games of this state tournament will be here on Hardhats TV. First pitch is over for strike one. The winner to Mandan, North Dakota for the Central Plains Regional. That'll be next week. Only one of these teams will make it. Last year, two of the teams made it. This will be popped up to right. Moving over is Severin to his left. And Baker Hansen retired for the first out here in the top of the fifth. He was the only guy that did not come to the plate in that fourth inning. One down for now Jay Harris. 6, 7, and 8 for Brookings in this fifth inning. And the number 7 man, Harris. So they were able to get two teams to the Central Plains Regional last year, but this year they're now only taking one South Dakota team. Even though South Dakota didn't host it last year, as that first pitch will miss for ball one, and Blomgren didn't think it had missed. He started to throw it back and then stopped. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss inside. The count's 2-0. Do have activity in the left field bullpen again for Brandon Valley with Felderman on the mound. I think the plan was for Felderman to start game 2, regardless of if they won or lost. But now he's pitching here in this game, and you have to keep him under 30 pitches, or at 30 pitches, as that one will miss. And the count's 3-1. And so maybe that man, the bullpen warming up right now will be coming in before Felderman reaches a threshold, that first threshold. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 3-2. Granted, he hasn't thrown very much because he didn't have to throw a whole lot to get out of that inning. Back in the fourth, but that is a one-out walk to Harris. Second time that he's been walked. Runner on at first with one away, and it brings up Talon Hyde at the plate. Hyde is 0 for 2, grounded to fielder's choice and also ground out to third. That was only pitch number 10 for Felderman. Here's a ground ball up the middle to the second baseman. Underhand flip to second for one. To first, it's a double play. And that gets out of the inning. 4-6-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the fifth. It is still 3-0 for Brookings over Brandon Valley. It is the bottom of the fifth. 3-0 for Brookings over Brandon Valley. It is a Cooper Veld, the DH, to lead off here in this bottom of the fifth. Ryder Mueller, then Caleb Severin. 52 pitches for Nolan Krogman through the first 4 innings. As the first pitch is skied foul out of play for strike one. We've got Yankton at post 320 coming up next here on Hardhats TV, and then followed by post 22 in Watertown to close out the day. Yankton at post 3:20. The winner of that game will take on Sioux Falls West. And then the winner of Post 22 in Watertown takes on the winner of this game tomorrow evening. Host team gets to play the final game, as it always stands, Post 22, and then if you win all your games, you get to continue to play the last game of the day. It's set up for you to do that if you are victorious in all your games. That one's upstairs, and it counts 1 and 2. Again, next year, Pierre will be the host team. They will host the 2027 state tournament. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout. Make that strikeout number 6 for Nolan Krogman, and 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th to bring up Ryder Mueller, the second baseman.
Number 21, second baseman,
Boy,
Ryder
why
Mueller.
Nolan Krogman has been excellent so far today.
He's been on his game today. Must have ate his Wheaties this morning.
The first pitch will be at the top of the zone for strike 1 to Ryder Mueller, who popped down to the third baseman. Counts 1 and 1. I think he's been probably the unfortunate, just looking at his stats without going through every single game that he pitched in. As Krogman, a misstep pitching, or maybe even stepped off. Here's the 1-1. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1 and 2. But looking at just his stats, he's probably been the misfortune of really 1-2 run ball games and hardly given up anything at all. Here's a high chopper off the plate. That's going to be a tough play. That'll be the first hit for Brandon Valley. It's an infield single for Ryder Mueller.
And we were speaking earlier about how bouncy turf is. Look at how high that ball went up there, and it allowed him to get over there at first just in time for the first hit there for Brandon Valley.
Yeah, but Baker Hansen is tapping his chest saying that it was my fault. There's no, I mean, outside of the throw got away, yes, but the Mueller didn't take off for second. It's not a lot of foul territory here at the Fitz, but there's nothing he could have done differently to try and get him out. A perfect throw, he's not out, as that one is flown out to right field. It is Jay Harris that will move over to make the catch for the second out. And there's now 2 down, and 1 right fielder will fly out to the other, and it brings up Grady Gindorf, who is 0 for the strikeout looking. But yeah, that Hansen, patting his chest, saying, "Hey, my bad." That wasn't your bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the turf and the speed of Ryder Mueller to get an infield single. And I'm sure, too, being the first hit of the ball game, and they're looking for Krogman to maybe get a no-hitter and all that stuff, that you're doing everything to possibly keep that no-hitter intact, as the first pitch is over for strike 1 on a swing and a miss by Gindorf. But sometimes for teams, all you need is just one good hop or one high hop to go your way, and then hits can start piling in.
Almost like a little Kickstarter, hopefully, for Brandon Valley to get some more going for them here.
There's a pickoff attempt, and that one just not in time. Here's an 0-1 pitch. Runner takes off. It is a strike. The throw to second, trying to get a snap tag by Schneider, but he didn't catch the baseball. And a stolen base for Ryder Mueller, so he is in scoring position, but an 0-2 count. Now to the top of the order, Grady Gindorf. Krogman trying to get through 5 completes. Keep this a 3-0 lead for Brookings, but a base hit. Make this a 2-run ball game. Swing and a miss, and Krogman's got strikeout number 7. 5 shutout innings for Nolan Krogman. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the 6th, still a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley here in Game 2 of the state tournament at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. Top of the sixth, it is a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley.
Leading off the top of the sixth for Brookings, designated hitter number 12.
And it brings up Ben Schulte, 9-1-2 for Brookings here in this top of the sixth. Luke Felderman on the mound right now as the first pitch is chopped foul for strike one. And we'll see what Coach Van Heel wants to do. That was only the 12th pitch for Felderman. If he can get through maybe this sixth inning, stay under the 30 pitches, I guess 31 technically, but staying under 31, maybe you go and put someone else in, and then you can have Felderman still pitch again tomorrow. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. But it also might depend on how things look in the top of the seventh inning. If Brandon Valley comes back and picks up the lead in the bottom of the sixth, maybe he stays out there to try and pick up the last 3 outs, and you'll throw him again on Thursday. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Mueller will field. His quick throw to first will retire Schulte for the first out. And it will bring up now Trey Christofferson, the top of the order, back up again here for Brookings. The lefty will dig in. He is 1 for 2 with a walk.
Left fielder number 1, Trey Christofferson.
Christofferson waits on the first pitch. It's outside for ball 1. We're going to keep an eye on that pitch count for Felderman. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss, and the count's 2-0. 17 pitches now for him. A lot of times we don't really care about how many he's thrown until you get to about 60 or 70 pitches. Then you start looking at it a little bit more. But because there was a man warming up out in left field for Brandon Valley, makes you feel like there might be a chance that Felderman gets taken out early on to leave him to be able to start tomorrow. A 3-0 pitch. That's outside for ball 4. And a walk issued to Christofferson, been on base 3 times. Second walk issued to him, and now it's Jude Meendering, who had an RBI infield single, made a 2-0 game. Jace Bauer had the base hit to make it 3-0. And so now it's an opportunity here for Meendering and Bauer to try and do some damage again. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1. That was pitch number 20 for Felderman. Again, Taylor Melby went 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, 4 walks. 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks for Van Loor, and an inning and 2/3. That one is fouled away. And so now Felderman has thrown an inning and 2/3, but has just 2 walks issued, no hits allowed. And on the other side, Nolan Krogman has thrown a total of 64 pitches through 5 innings. So he still has 41 pitches remaining. The 1-1. That one will catch the outside corner on the curveball, and the count's 2-1. Felderman has been strictly used as a pitcher. He has not had any plate appearances. So this is his forte, is to go out on the mound and try and dominate. 1-2. That one's fouled away. "23 pitches here for Felderman. And the other thing, too, is that you already have 2 pitchers that are unavailable for tomorrow in Melby and Van Loor. And so if you have a 3rd pitcher be unavailable for tomorrow, that, again, really limits your bullpen and who you want to pitch. While Van Loor can come back again and pitch on Thursday, Melby can pitch again on Friday. You got to get to that point. So it almost becomes a bullpen by committee type of day. And still Brandon Valley's got a shot, only down 3-0. That one's fouled away. The count remains at 2-2.
And the good thing about Brandon, too, they still have 2 more chances here to bat, too. So they still have more opportunities to get more runs here to try to tie this game back up.
Yeah, it feels like when we're talking about this game that Brookings is up 9-10-0 in this game, but it's a 3-0 lead. It's all well within grasp for Brandon Valley to still come back in this game. That'll miss, and the count's now 3-2. I think some of it is that Brandon Valley has had 9 walks and the 2 hit by pitches so far that has made this feel different. And if you're Brookings, you're probably also kind of maybe a little bit nervous right now that you've had all those free passes and haven't been able to score the runs that you wanted to. 3-2 will miss for ball 4. And it's now first and second with 1 away. And time will be called. And it looks like they are going to make the change. That was pitch number 27 for Felderman. And they will bring their 4th pitcher to the mound. So that is an opportunity for Felderman to come and pitch tomorrow, because he's leaving with 27 pitches thrown. And they will go to their 4th pitcher here in this game. Still a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley, as we will come back here on Hardhats TV. So it is first and second, 1 down. Tristan Culp now on the mound. And it is going to be Jace Bauer, the first man to face Culp. Here's the first pitch to him. Curveball that will drop in for a strike, and it started to get away from the catcher in Blomgren, but not far enough away for Christofferson to find his way to third. The count's 0-1. Tristan Culp is making his 8th relief appearance and 9th appearance overall, 15 1/3 innings pitched, 2-0 record for him. He's got 9 hits allowed, 10 runs, only 5 of them earned. That one's at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-2. 19 walks, 17 strikeouts, 2.28 ERA, whip at 1.83, and a batting average against at 158. 0-2. This is popped up. Long run. The shortstop will call off the third baseman, and Knutson will take it. Plucker got back over to third. And in foul territory, the catch made for the second out. And it brings up now Noah Lease, who has been on base all 3 times, with runners at first and second and 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning.
Noah Lease.
9 walks so far. Actually make it 10 walks so far, and 12 free passes with 2 hit by pitches. No strikeouts from this Brandon Valley pitching staff, as Culp is the 4th guy to be on the mound. That is an unlike Brandon Valley, an unusual Brandon Valley pitching performance. They had 177 walks to 248 strikeouts. And that's 70 more strikeouts to walks. which usually when you're a good team, that's how it's going to be. But Brandon Valley's not been able to get the strikeouts. Here's a high chopper. Second baseman will field the throw to first. That's a good play from the second baseman, Mueller, to get out of the inning. Only 2 batters faced for Tristan Culp in that 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We get to the bottom of the 6th. Still 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley here in Game 2 of the state tournament at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 lead here for Brookings over Brandon Valley. It is going to be 2, 3, and 4 against Nolan Krogman. As that first pitch is outside for ball 1. That was only the 65th pitch of the day for Krogman. He's got 40 pitches left to work with. No pitch that time. Knudsen wasn't necessarily in the box. And so it is a 1-0 count. And so now the 1-0 pitch officially from Krogman. It counts now 2-0. Luke Felderman officially 1 2/3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks. Counts 2-1. It's a big bottom of the 6th inning here. Brandon Valley's got 2, 3, and 4, down just 3-0. But they have been unable to figure out Nolan Krogman so far, who has been dominant on the mound with 7 strikeouts and only 1 hit allowed. 2-2 is a ground ball over to the shortstop, fielded by the shortstop in Hansen. His throw to first is in time. 6-3 ground out, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And it brings up Bryce Plucker, who was hit by a pitch. Really, the only thing you can say about Krogman that hasn't been perfect for him at this point is he's hit too many guys. He's hit 3 different guys, but I guess he hasn't walked anybody, so it's limited the pitch count when he's put the guys on base.
It's working for him and working for his team.
Plucker also flew out to center. He's 0 for 1. That pitch upstairs for ball 1. 2, 3, and 4. And this is number 3 man in the batting order. And that'll hit Plucker again. Second time that he has been hit. So the 4th man that has been hit by Krogman. And again, you can put those in the walk categories basically because the guy got on without having to swing the bat. But for Krogman, while you don't want to keep hitting guys, and none of it's been intentional, if you're going to put a guy on base with a free pass, I guess you hit him, and then again, he doesn't throw all 4 pitches for balls to get him on base. So it saves the pitch count a little bit. As the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1 to Brighton Strode. The other side of it is that you start playing a dangerous game when you start hitting too many guys and putting too many base runners on without them earning their way on. Back, and that throw to first in time to get back for Plucker. The 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 0-2. I don't think that Coach Carter Roach is going to have much of a thought, but if Krogman stays under 80, he'd be available to pitch again on Saturday. And the thought of, well, you have to get there first, which is absolutely right. You got to get there first. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Underhand flip to second for one. The throw to first is going to be wide of the base. And there's now 2 down. That would have been a huge double play to turn. It would only been the 74th pitch for Krogman. He would have been out of that 6th inning. But a 6-4 fielder's choice for the second out. And it brings up Blomgren. So 2 down. And Jack Blomgren to the plate. He's 0 for 1, struck out looking, hit by a pitch. First pitch over for strike 1. Rapid City post 320. Make that Yankton over there. They're going to be the home team. They're going to be on the third base dugout. They're our 3rd game today. They're going to face the winner of Sioux Falls West. They're going to be the winner of that game will face Sioux Falls West. That's at the knees for a strike, and the count's now 0-2. And Krogman looking for his 8th strikeout. 0-2 pitch. This will be flown out to center field. Meendering will back up and to his left. He'll make the catch in 6 shutout innings for Nolan Krogman on the mound. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the 7th. It is a 3-0 lead for Brookings over Brandon Valley as we are into the 7th inning. It is the top of the 7th, and Brookings leading 3-0. One more chance to try and add on here in this 7th. Cooper Schneider, Baker Hansen, and Jay Harris. Tristan Culp on the mound. Again, Luke Felderman went an inning and 2/3 innings with 3 walks, but he only threw 27 pitches, and that was my thought could have been that they were going to get him out early to then be available tomorrow. I'm assuming that they'll start him tomorrow, but he'd at least be available tomorrow for Brandon Valley. Again, they could come back and win this game, and they're going to be just as happy to see him pitch in a 1-0. I guess they'd be more happy to see him pitch being 1-0 than being 0-1. But they're going to be they will still pitch him if they win that first game and come back and win this game or not. Is my assumption, getting him out as early as they did on the pitch count in his 1 2/3 of innings of relief. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's at the knees for a strike. The count's 1-1. Schneider showed bunt, pulled it back and took it for a strike. Nolan Krogman with 77 pitches thrown for Brookings as it counts 1-2. There is 0 chance of him getting the complete game and being available to pitch again in this state tournament. 0-2 pitch is flown out towards right center field. Long run, on the run and diving to make the catch. What a snag out in center field for Grady Gindorf. A long run out towards right center, and he was able to dive and slide and make a great catch for the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Never gave up on that ball.
Baker Hansen now to the plate. He is 0 for 2, 2 flyouts to the outfield and drew a walk. Pitch will miss low for ball 1. It will be 6, 7, and 8 for Brandon Valley in the bottom of the 7th inning. Trying to keep this a 3-run deficit. That one is a slow roller to the left side. The throw to first is not going to be in time. An infield single for Baker Hansen. 5th hit of the ball game for Brookings. Another pitch that just goes off the plate and finds a way to get on base for Baker Hansen and Brookings. And it brings up now Jay Harris. 2 walks for him so far.
Right fielder number 10, Jay Harris.
There's the first pitch. There's a chopper over to third. Only play is going to be to first. The throw from the third baseman, Plucker, in time for the second out. Runner does move up 90 feet to second. And it brings up Talon Hyde. Hyde is 0 for 3. Fielder's choice in the third. Ground out in the 4th and double play in the 5th. That pitch is over for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. That's over for a strike. It counts 0-2. And Tristan Culp trying to work through this 7th inning quickly and give Brandon Valley a chance. Down 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll miss low. Yankton at post 320. That'll be our next game at 4 o'clock. Hour and 7 minutes from now. And then post 22 and Watertown to finish out the night. Count goes at 2-2. We won't start any games early. Hope to not have to start any games late.
Yeah.
That'd be a long.
Let's hope.
We'll probably see extra innings if we're starting a baseball game late. The 2-2. That's outside, and now from 0-2 to 3-2 here to Talon Hyde. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It is in the turf. The throw will have to go to first from Blomgren. He fires a strike, and that will take care of the top of the 7th and the first strikeout of the ball game for the Brandon Valley pitching staff. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. To the bottom of the 7th we go. It is 3-0 for Brookings over Brandon Valley. It is the bottom of the 7th. 6, 7, and 8 for Brandon Valley. 77 pitches for Nolan Krogman, trying to work through a complete game here in this second game of our state tournament. First pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Outside of taking Krogman out after this next pitch, he will not be available to pitch the rest of this state tournament, as there is a swing and a miss. And the count's 0-2, and at that point, you probably would have taken him out to start the inning. Probably wouldn't let him throw 2 pitches. Right. But the 0-2 pitch here coming from Krogman to Peters. That one is outside, and the count's now 1-2. Peters 0 for 2, struck out swinging and also grounded out. This is skied out to left. That will get out of play. So we'll do it again here at a 1-2 count. 92 degrees still here in Rapid City. Feeling like 91, so hey, feels cooler than it actually is. That's the 0-2 pitch again here from Krogman. Another foul out of play. We're going to start to see those stands fill up more for these last two games. With post 320 and post 22 playing the last two. That'll be a check swing. He does not go, says the third base umpire John Whitcraft after they peeled down to third. And the count's now 2-2. 2-2 is grounded over to the first baseman. Staying on it was Talon Hyde. He'll step on the bag for the first out to start this bottom of the seventh. And so one down for Cooper Veld, the DH, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. In Brandon Valley, if they do not come back and win this game, they will be playing the 1 o'clock game tomorrow, just like they played the 1 o'clock game here today. And then they'll come back and have to win that game against the loser of our final game tonight of Post 22 in Watertown. And White, I think that's one of the best things and the hardest thing in this state tournament is that your first round opponent is always going to be tough. It doesn't get easier when you're 0-1 because you're saying for Brandon Valley, you might have to go against Post 22, the top seed, if they don't win. Or you get Watertown, who still has good pitching all the way around, that it's not going to be easy to beat them either to not go 0-2.
That point, you just got to put your head down and just go to work.
Yeah, I mean, and truthfully too, because you're not really concerned. You're not picking and choosing who you want to play because it's always going to be tough. But it definitely doesn't get any easier when it gets really hard when you're 0-1. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Cooper Veld. 2 down, and Brookings an out away from picking up a Game 1 win. Ryder Mueller, who's 1 for 2. He's got the only base hit for Brandon Valley, an infield single and a chopper off the plate. First pitch swinging, that is fouled out of play to the right side. No walks from Nolan Krogman. He's hit 4 different guys for the 4 of the 5 base runners. He's got 8 strikeouts, and he's 1 out away. That was pitch number 90 for him, so he's still got 15 pitches to work with. That one's over for a strike, and now Brookings a strike away from winning their first game here at the state tournament. The 1-2 pitch popped up. Talon Hyde over by the first base dugout. It will go off the netting, so no chance to make the play. And it stays at 1-2. Netting goes all the way around past the dugouts. It is lined up with the top of the dugout. So if it hits the netting, it was going out of play anyway. But it goes all the way around to keep everybody protected here at the Fitz, sitting around in the grandstands. 1-2 pitch again. That'll miss, and it counts 2-2. One run in the third, a RBI hit by pitch, and then 2 RBI singles in the 4th inning for Brookings. It counts 3-2. The only 3 runs that have scored. 3 runs on 5 hits, no runs, 1 hit for Brandon Valley. Payoff pitch. Taken for strike 3, and that will end the ball game. 10 strikeouts for Nolan Krogman. A complete game, 1-hit shutout. For the starting pitcher, Nolan Krogman, and Brookings will advance to play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the winner of Yankton and Post 320. Excuse me, against Rapid City Post 22 and Watertown. That is a final 3-0. We'll come back and show you the totals here in just a moment. All right, well, we'll get you those totals here. 7 innings, 1 hit shutout for Nolan Krogman. No walks and 10 strikeouts. As you see the box score right now, Brookings with that 3-0 win. It was for Brandon Valley. They had Taylor Melby, Will Van Loor, Luke Felderman, and Tristan Culp all throw around 2 innings. It was 2 innings for Melby, an inning and 2/3 for Van Loor, Felderman, and Culp. Culp gave up 1 hit, no runs, and had the only strikeouts, only threw 19 pitches, so he's available to pitch again tomorrow. But what an outing for Nolan Krogman, Wyatt, to pick up a first-game win.
Absolutely insane. He was their number 1 guy, too, in the regular season, and when he comes into the postseason, just goes lights out for his first game. That's the way that Brookings should have started this state tournament. They're going in hot, so they're going to play in tomorrow with feeling good about a great win today.
They had a total for Brookings. They didn't leave 11 guys on base. Brandon Valley ended up leaving 5 guys on base, and that was all 5 of their base runners end up being stranded. There's a fielder's choice in there as well, but everything else was the 4 hit batters by Nolan Krogman, who ended up throwing 95 in total. So he was actually down to just 10 pitches left. But a game time, an hour and 56 minutes, a 3-0 win for Brookings over Brandon Valley. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 11 men left on base, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 5 men left on base for Brandon Valley. As we look at your bracket, we have not updated it quite yet. We will for the next game. But Sioux Falls West, they won 8-0 over Harrisburg. So you see those 2 teams on. You can imagine right now Brookings moving over to the winner's bracket side at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and Brandon Valley moving to that top part of the bracket, playing at 1 o'clock. And that will be against either Post 22 or Watertown for both those teams. So that's how it looks through the first 2 games, and a 3-0 win for Brookings over Brandon Valley. 2 games in, our next game coming up, it will be Yankton and Rapid City Post 320. That'll be a 4 o'clock first pitch. We'll be on the air at 3:50, so we'll have 45 minutes from now. We'll be back on the air for our next game between Yankton and Rapid City Post 320. 3-0 win for Brookings over Brandon Valley in our second game of the state tournament here at the Fitz.